Thanks for joining us for Elko Live today, our weekday show, and our guest today is from Great Basin College. From the college within the college, Gail Rappa is the Director of Continuing Education, and as always has a lot to bring to our discussion today. Gail, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much for having me. It's always so great to be able to be on here and talk about not just continuing education, but some of the other cool things that are happening at GBC.
Yeah, we are really excited. We'll launch the month of May, of course, and that is heading into commencement, but GBC at the same time is already gearing up. There are a lot of summer courses, classes, and offerings. Many of these are geared toward workforce development, Gail, which is really exciting. And some of the classes are for teenagers as young as even 16 who want to embark on, a CNA nursing course, for example.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So yeah, we can, excuse me. We can start out by talking about some of the credit courses. So summer enrollment is open right now, as is fall. But summer enrollment, I believe, will close on the, I don't want to get the wrong date, so it's on the website, but it's June 16th, I think, is when summer enrollment closes, but I can find out for sure. And yeah, I've got a list in front of me, and there's over 94 courses that are being offered this summer. So that's fantastic because, any of us that were former students know that sometimes you can't fit everything in during the traditional, fall and spring semesters. And having the opportunity to take those classes over the summer is huge.
And sometimes, Gail, those summer classes or courses can be the way to really discover what it is that you do want to study or what you want to pursue after graduating high school or even as, someone who's already been out of school.
Exactly. Yeah. And for and for some folks, especially like you said, like the 16 and up, or it's an 8-week course, so it's more intensive, but sometimes you have more time to focus on it over the summer. So
when you don't have your high school classes.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a great opportunity. Yeah. So everything from, online courses to in-person courses, like you said, the CNA. There's math courses, there's art courses, a lot of education courses on offer. Humanities, there's history, humanities courses, language courses, things like that. So you can find out about all of the courses and register and find out about how to do the credit courses on the GBC website. It's super easy. It's www.gbcnv.edu.
That is, as you said, super easy. And of 94 courses and classes to choose from, something to keep in mind, too, is a lot of it is offered online, and that it just expands the opportunities for people who traditionally, they've been place-bound. They might be working on a ranch, or they might be caring for family, or they might be home for the summer. You don't know. But at the same time, GBC is also gravitating back towards some in-person offering scale.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's a great segue into talking about some of our continuing education offerings. So we're really excited. We are launching some youth summer camps. So we haven't had that at GBC in a little while. We've had some consistent, ceramics youth offerings, but we're expanding for the summer offerings. So that's really what I want to kind of focus on. But we have, it's not just for youth, and I want to emphasize that. So, we have a lot of summer offerings through continuing education that are for all ages. But I'll start by talking about the camps because I'm particularly excited about them. So we've broken it down into 3 different age groups. So if, and all this information is available on our website, and I'll give you that address in a minute here. We have a separate website landing page, than the GBC one for continuing education. So we've got 3 separate age groups. We've got ages 5 to 8, ages 9 through 13, and ages 12 and up, which kind of overlaps that center one just a bit. I'm going to read some of the titles. The 5 to 8, we've got ceramics, a youth clay class. We've got one offered in June and one in August. We've got a costume and props camp, which we're really excited about. That's brand new for us. And that's a 5-day camp. And excuse me, for making, there are certain costumes that will be covered in that camp. Detective bots, solving the robot mystery. That's one of the camps that's in a partnership with Nevada Robotics through DRI. So we're really excited about the robotics camps that we're offering. We have a musical theater, and so that camp is actually for 2 different age groups. So the morning camp will be for the younger ones, and it's in partnership with Starlight. So they're doing a musical theater camp called The Greatest Show, and they'll have a little short production at the end of that at the end of that week-long camp. So that's just 5 through 8. That's just that one category.
Just for those youngsters, again, kindergarten through right around, what is that, 2nd grade, something like that?
Yeah, kind of in that area.
Really fun.
Yeah.
Great time of discovery. And it gives the kiddos something to do during summer vacation and gives parents a chance to do something else while they're doing camp.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then, like I mentioned, we are partnering with Nevada Robotics or DRI. And so, excuse me, all the different age groups are kind of covered in those camps. So, some more simple projects and activities, although, excuse me, I'm sorry. When I look at what they're offering, it's not simple for us that are not technology natives. They're like, wow, they can do that with 5-year-olds. So it's really fun to see that. And then some more advanced kind of robotics programs. We have another a gentleman that's joining us from Winnemucca to teach a 3-day camp that we're calling Innovation Ignition, Future Forward Technology. And he's got a great lineup. So the first day, and these are half-day camps. So the first day, they're going to work on coding, like learning different coding programs. The second day, they're going to do 3D printing, something of their own design. And then the third day, they're going to learn about AI and different ways that they can use it as a tool, proper ways to use it. And
this is 9 to 13-year-olds?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Wow, okay. That is great. So again, wonderful opportunity for learning in between school, maybe, igniting a new fire, a passion or something that student didn't even know that they would be so excited about.
Exactly. And I think in a fun environment. I mean, all these camps are really they're formatted in a way that like someone said, and the kids won't even know they're learning, because it'll be so much fun, right?
Yes.
Which is the best way to learn. We're only going to really learn if we're fully engaged like that. So,
and you do have some very inspiring instructors for these, right? They generally work in these professions. Yep. They have some experience.
Absolutely, yeah. So with our robotics, like I said, we're partnering with Nevada Robotics through DRI, and so the instructors are the robotics instructors that work for them. So and they're also K through 12 teachers. So they're familiar with the age groups that they're teaching. So it's
a lot of great experience.
It's a great fit.
Yeah. So that was the 9 to 13s, and then we've got the 12 and up.
Right. So for 12 and up. We've got a teen introduction to wheel throwing. So we have a really wonderful, robust ceramics studio at GBC. We're really proud of it. And it's great to be able to have this teen wheel throwing class where they can just get together and really immerse themselves into it. Because like many things, but throwing on the wheel, unless you're doing it on a regular basis, in an intensive time period, it's hard to get good. So this gives them that chance. So we're really excited about that.
Do they have to have any experience at all for
Nope.
some of these? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, there's no prereq of any sort. Yeah.
Great.
Just an age limit. And then their costume camp. This one I'm really excited about. It's Costume Camp Medieval Clothing, and we're working with a gal who, we wanted to, feed into the, 2 really fun events that happen in our community. One is the Renaissance Fair, and the other one is PopCon. And so helping folks that maybe need some help, some skills, sewing skills, costume construction skills, so that they can, set themselves up for success. There's costume contests and things like that. And actually, the instructor, Brenda Waters, was able to, she talked with the folks at the Renaissance Fair, and anyone who attends one of the costume camps gets free entry into the costume contest at the Renaissance, so they can enter in without any.
Brenda is fabulous, by the way. She teaches at California Trail Interpretive Center.
Yeah.
She does that, and she can teach. The students love lining up for the treadle machines.
Yeah, right. For the old-fashioned machines, which are so great. So she's going to be doing a few different ones. The other one that we have is again, the Starlight Musical Theater. They're going to do the greatest show for that older group as well. She's also doing something at the California Trail Center in preparation for Trail Days.
Oh, nice.
So it's called Period Clothing Workshop, 1850s Early America. And she's got a whole, there's a selection of, I think there's like 5 different items that you can choose from. You can't make all of them necessarily unless you're a really quick sewer, that you can create your costume for Trail Days. Because a lot of folks like to participate that and be in period costume.
Oh, yeah. And it's something that you can take a lot of pride in that you created. And you're really sort of honoring that legacy, pioneers, because the clothes were simple, but at the same time, you might learn some new things about how those old techniques are used in making current clothing and costumes.
Yeah, exactly.
Super cool, That's great.
Yeah, so all of these can be found. Let me give you our info now, so we can, now that we've piqued your interest. If you go to our web page, on the home page, you'll see all of our wonderful boxes that have our different category areas. So it's www.campusCE, and that CE obviously stands for continuing education, but all one word, campusce.net /GBCNV. But if you just even put in campusce.net, it should take you there. So, and once you're on our homepage, then you get to see all the categories. And for those of you that are looking for the camps, there's one in the top right. It says activities, camps, and event, and you click on that. If you want specifically the ceramics classes, there's an area for arts and creativity, and then fitness, which I can talk about next if you like.
Yes.
So in addition to all of our summer things, we also have summer fitness classes and offerings. So we want to definitely get the word out about that, because I'm always surprised. I think it's just because I'm so used to thinking everybody knows about our GBC Fitness Center. But I'm always surprised when people say, oh, I didn't realize it was open to the public, open to the community. It's like, well, yes, it is. So the first thing is there is a summer membership for the fitness center. And that is on our website. So it's a fitness center community membership. It runs from June 9th to August 22nd, so right before the semester begins. And it's only $45.
For that whole time?
For that whole time.
Wow.
If you want a locker, then it's an extra $10, and that's true of every semester. It's a $10 locker fee, but still incredibly cheap. And then everybody always asks, well, when is it open? And I said, well, that part's a little bit more complicated. So if you click on, if you go on there, then you get this little... you get this diagram that says Summer Fitness Center hours, and then it tells you when it's open and when the gym floor is available versus the weight room. Now, whenever the fitness center is open, and whenever it's staffed, the weight rooms are always weight room and workout room are always available, because they can be closed off from the gym floor. So we're really excited about that. And it should be arriving any day. We'll be doing a social media post, but we are getting a brand new state-of-the-art Stairmaster. And we're really excited. And I've never been on one of these, but it looks like an escalator. And it's very fancy.
Fancy, and I think it will kick your you-know-what.
Yeah.
Meaning mine, yours,
everybody's. Everybody's,
what
yes.
A great tool.
Yeah, no, we're really excited. So it's just one of the things. There's going to be some expansion and some changes as we grow with our fitness center offerings. So I can talk about our fitness center offerings.
Perfect, because I see pickleballs
yes.
on there. Yes.
So over the summer, we most pickleball play moves outside, which is wonderful. It's super fun, and it's beautiful outside. But we wanted to set aside a certain amount of time for pickleball open play inside, because there's weather issues, wind. Sometimes it just gets really hot in the middle of the day. So we kind of polled our pickleball play community and said, what times would you like? And so we have pickleball open play. And let me pull up that time. And that is, it's not a class, but you do have to register, and there is a small fee. That one's $40. The hours are Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 11:30.
So question about that. Gear, do you supply gear?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have 12 paddles available. So we have 3 courts. So for anybody who doesn't know pickleball, you have if you have 3 courts, then you have 12 people on the court at one time because you play doubles. So it's 4 in each court. But yeah, so we provide balls, we provide everything you need. You can just show up. And if you don't know how to play pickleball and you sign up for open pickleball play, it is a very generous community as far as ushering you into the knowledge. There are some hardcore players for sure, but there are enough people that will take you aside and say, this is how you hit, this is how you serve, that type of thing. So so don't be intimidated, because there are a lot of people out there that were just like me when I just showed up before we had pickleball classes, because we didn't used to have them. And I was like, I've heard about this and I want to know how to play. And they showed me how to play.
Oh, that's great. So open pickleball on campus at Great Basin College, and just in time, because I think the city of Elko is going to begin construction sometime this year on the pickleball courts on Elko's south side.
Yeah, super excited.
Yes,
yeah, super
so
excited
great.
about that. So so it's just growing. It's just a growing community.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then some other really popular things, though. You've got some.
So some of we've got our usual offerings that we are our favorites, like Jennifer Steger's doing her strength training weights, and that's a lunchtime class, and that's really popular. And so that'll be going on. But some new additions for the summer that I want to talk about. Let me see if I can find the detail on that one. So Brian Dankowski, who is he's Dr. Brian Dankowski.
He's on my row when I'm on campus.
Exactly.
Yes, he's fantastic.
He's fantastic.
Yes.
He's in charge of the MAPE program and nursing, and does all sorts of things. Or not in charge of nursing, but anyway, he is offering a step aerobics and core training class, and it's a morning class. And we haven't had an early morning class for a while, so we're really excited. So that's from 7 to 8 a.m., and that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're really excited. I might actually get up and do it. I might actually get up and do it.
And Brian's great. He'll be a wonderful instructor.
Yeah, and he has taught in the past. And so we kind of, wooed him back to teaching again. So we've got that. And then Jen is offering a women's karate, and that is going to be from in the evening on Tuesdays, and that is ages 12 and up. So we would love to see like mothers and daughters coming together, or aunties and and nieces. But anyway, so it's 12 and up, and it's specifically women's karate, and it'll cover things like self-defense, but it'll be increasing strength and doing traditional karate, katas and things like that.
How fun. So it's definitely an introductory class.
Yeah, absolutely. Like. You don't need to have any prior knowledge.
Nice.
Yeah. So then we've also got boxing and kickboxing. So that is going to run in the evenings. I believe that one is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the evenings. And that's with TJ, who's one of our newer instructors, and he's just a powerhouse. He teaches boxing and kickboxing for us. He's been running some basketball and volleyball camps that have been really, really popular. And he's going to continue to do some more volleyball and basketball over the summer.
Well, Gail Rappa, Director of Continuing Education at Great Basin College, thanks for bringing together all these amazing professional people who are doing this kind of adjunct work, a lot of them, from the community. I mean, obviously there's some faculty that are also lending their talents to this, but what a great opportunity to get back on campus at GBC.
Yeah, and again, the fun thing about the youth camps that we've done, the basketball and volleyball in particular, is that the parents drop off the kids. These are a little bit younger age kids, and I mean, I can't tell you how many of them said, "Oh, I didn't even know this was here," or "Oh, I didn't know you had a rock wall." And so that's really great. That's what we want. Is we want everybody to kind of like go, "Oh, okay, there's actually a lot of amazing things on the GBC Elko campus," and all of our campuses. Quite honestly, I was just in Winnemucca for their Choose GBC event, and if you get a chance to stop by Winnemucca campus, please do. It is so beautiful, and they've done such an amazing job. And Becky, who's the director there, is amazing. She's just doing a lot of wonderful things.
It's a very inspirational space, and the Winnemucca community built that space. I mean, it's important to know GBC serves like a 45,000 square mile service area. It's just insane. But you've got the 4 campus. Well, you've got Ely, Winnemucca, Pahrump, and here in Elko.
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah. So, and another offering that we're doing, this is new for the summer. Katie, who's I'm going to talk about in a minute for the Humanities Center, is also a yoga instructor. So she's teaching power yoga for us right now this semester, and then she's offering kind of an intensive on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It'll start at that last week of May and go into the third week of June, and it's called Vin Yin Yoga. And I had to get the definition because I had never heard that before. So the first half of the class is more active yoga poses, and the second half of the class is Yin Yoga poses, which are where you get into a pose and you hold it for a longer period of time, and it stretches you out more. So.
Nice.
Anyway, so that should be really exciting too.
And Katie is definitely qualified. This woman ran 31 miles on Saturday. She did an ultra.
On purpose.
On purpose. She was not being pursued by any wild animal. It's just, and we're very proud of her. That's
yes,
fantastic.
We are. She said she checked it off her bucket list, and she doesn't to do that again.
Yeah,
so
that was great.
It was exciting.
Yes. So these are all continuing ed classes, which means a lot of things. You can sort of consider this your introduction to Great Basin College. Oh, good. We're going to take, yes, you can look at this as an opportunity to maybe get back on campus, to just try something new and different. It's not the same kind of commitment as when you take a GBC class. I mean, these are certainly super, super affordable. Community college classes are definitely affordable and accessible as it is, but campusce.net/GBCNV. Super easy to find everything we've been talking about and more.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are not, if you don't know, you get confused about the website, just give us a call. So we are 775-327-5300. It's really easy to remember. That's our office number. My team is amazing, and we can answer all your questions and get you where you need to go.
Good. Well, you can stop by. They are located on campus across from Leonard Center, Fitness Center, GBC Theater, in the old KENV TV station. So it's so wonderful to see all the different things that are happening there at the continuing education and foundation offices.
Yeah, we love visitors. We love visitors. We're like, come see us. Yeah, so we've got that going on. The other thing I wanted to talk about, so our ceramic studio is doing this interesting, I'm going to see if I can find the info. So it's the ceramic studio is partnering with the U.S. Forest Service to make ceramic ornaments for the 2025 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. So this is the first time they've ever done that. They already had their first one, and there's pictures on our social media. Which please, if you're not already following us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So really, that's the best way to keep up to date with everything because
you're churning out a lot.
Yes, we are. Yes. My team is just every day there's something that's getting on there. So please, definitely check that out. Check out the pictures of the first round of ornaments. But their second one is May 17th, and it's from 10 to noon. It's a small fee. You do need to register just so because there's a limited amount of space, but very family-friendly event. So check that out on our website as well.
All right. Making some ornaments for the tree in 2025.
Yeah, so they're a Nevada, kind of supposed to be a Nevada-themed ornaments that will go on the tree, and all of the Forest Service my understanding is all the Forest Services in the U.S. are participating, so that they'll all have representation.
And I do think, if I'm not mistaken, the tree is coming from Nevada this year.
Is that right?
I believe that's if I'm recalling correctly.
Oh, that's
so super
cool.
exciting.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah,
so
we need to have great representation.
Yes, we do. We're talking with Gail Rappusch. He is from Great Basin College, Director of Continuing Education, but brought a whole host of information and about the activities, the spring and summer courses that are going to be featured here. Want to make sure we're getting to. You do a lot of courses. We talked about art. We talked about fitness, youth camps. But there are also some workforce, some career training programs available, both in person and online.
Absolutely, yeah. So also on our webpage, on the top, you can click on career training programs, and that will bring you to a list of the programs that we offer. The one we're most known for is our CDLA training, obviously, because you've seen the truck, at least one of them driving around town. So we're really proud of our CDLA program. Dewey is our CDL instructor, and he's amazing. We have a 100% pass rate. That's pretty rare, and for CDL, for this type of training. So part of why we're able to do that is because we have a maximum of 5 students that can be in each cohort. And that means you get a ton of time driving and then riding along with other drivers in the actual truck and vehicle. So we're really excited about that. We're in the 4th of our cohorts for 2025. And our next one starts on May 19th.
And don't let a concern about, finances hold you back, because a lot of times people will be surprised to discover they qualify for some financial incentives for these programs.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, Lori, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I would like to, but either A, I can't afford it, or I can't take the time off of work to do it. And so Employ NV and Good Jobs Northern Nevada are 2 different funding sources that we send prospective students to, and they fund either partial or sometimes the whole tuition. We also have funding through our GBC Foundation that for a living stipend that if you do have to take time off work, or we have one gentleman in this current one who is from outside the area, so he's paying for a hotel room while he's doing it. And it is a 6-week course, and the 6th week is for testing, but that's going to add up, right? So we do have living stipends as well.
That's really important to know. I'm so glad. And it's not just because they're nice guys, but it's because this is industry driven. This means that these industries want great employees. They're willing to help provide training, Gail, because they want people to get to work.
Yes.
These are jobs that can be filled almost immediately.
Well, they're actually filled usually before our students even finish the course.
Wow, that is great.
Yeah, we have Dewey, our CDL instructor, gets regular visits from the industry
Recruiters.
Yeah, to our skills lot there where we practice on the lot, saying, so when are your folks graduating? And so yeah.
That's great. Well, another wonderful aspect of the training that you can find, workforce, from education to workforce, right here in Elko on campus at Great Basin College. Again, affordable and accessible. And we always love to talk about the fun things, so I thought maybe we'd wrap up today's program with the humanities. I can't believe it was just about a year ago, May 1st and 2nd, that we did the 1,000 Cranes project together.
Gosh. Wow. I can't either.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks and actually that's a perfect segue because Katie Carnham-Esch, who's our Humanities Center coordinator, is doing an amazing job. And the final book club for the spring semester is coming up on May 2nd, and it's going to be from noon to 1. You can join that live or, in McMullen, or you can join via Zoom. And all that information is on the Humanities Center website, and on their social media as well, which is another, if you're not following it, please follow the Humanities Center on Facebook and Instagram. So this book is completely tied to the 1,000 Cranes project because the editor, Frank Abe, was one of our guest panelists for the 1,000 Cranes, and he edited this anthology. It's called The Literature of Japanese American Incarceration, and it's a collection of poems and essays and songs and different things by Japanese Americans who were incarcerated during World War II. So it's very powerful. The books are available to check out at the GBC library, any of our centers actually, so outside the area as well. But you don't have to have read the book to show up, because it's that type of discussion. And the books, again, are available for checking out if you attend the book club and then want to check out the book, that's an option as well.
Perfect. I'm going to be stealing all of these flyers.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Yes.
because lots to talk about and to keep talking about. And Humanities doesn't sleep during the summer. I mean, we know Beats and Bites is back and bigger than ever because they've expanded. Beats and Bites opens on May 22nd, 5 p.m., Chilton Circle. Food truck extravaganza, family entertainment, running and playing in the grass. And I don't know what the kids are going to do. Yeah. I'm going to run and play in the grass. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And one last thing, because I didn't touch on all of our art classes. During the June Beats and Bites, and we can talk about it when it gets over there, but I just wanted to talk about it because it's related to our glass class. We had a really successful Lampwork glass class with Roger Childs, and he's going to come back in June and teach again. And so that class is available. He's going to be doing birds, all sorts of different kind of glass birds. He's going to do penguins and flamingos and hummingbirds. So we're really excited about that. He will be doing a demo during the Beats and Bites in June. But anyway, you can register for those courses, that class now.
So those classes, and I'll keep it short, but do you need to have, it sounds amazing, but a little intimidating. Do you need to have some skills for that?
For the birds class, it's a little bit more advanced, but Roger said that, they would just do a simpler version of what the folks that had a little bit more experience. Okay. So he's open, he's a very kind man, and we are limited. We can only have 12 students, so you get a lot, and he has an assistant, so you get a lot of one-on-one attention.
Oh, that's great. And so happy that these art classes are coming back on campus and right here in our community. So please flood the gates. We know that we'll be talking more about it in the coming weeks and months, but continuing education will be expanded to our senior community again as well, which is also... That's just great news, Gail.
Yeah,
so thank you.
And the jewelry classes, one last thing, I'll just plug the jewelry classes. We are having jewelry classes over the summer as well. So we haven't done that as much. And so we're excited about that. Micah Johnson's going to be offering 2 different jewelry classes. One is peekaboo earrings. The other one is making little tiny plant presses that you can wear out of metal for pressing flowers and things like that. So check out the website.
Oh, that's so sweet. Of course, we're talking with Gail Rappa. She is Director of Continuing Education, Great Basin College. The college within the college. It's campusce.net/GBCNV, and you can drill down and find everything we've been talking about. Again, we are going to welcome to the airwaves on May 12th. We have a date. Dr. Amber Dinelli, the president of Great Basin College, is going to be on Elko Live. We're so excited about that. She's had an extremely busy semester per usual, but she's been advocating for our community college at the higher education with NG alongside her colleagues at the Nevada legislative session. So I'm sure she'll give an update on that as much as she can. And Gail, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lori. And again, GBC credit classes are enrolling now. So please go on to the website and look at all the over 94 classes that are being offered for credit, and then check us out in continuing ed.
That's gbcnv.edu. And on May 12th, we'll welcome GBC President Dr. Dinelli alongside the GBC Foundation. So thanks, and more to come. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today.